So welcome back to episode number 2 with Karen Frost from IPA Canada. Karen is located in Vancouver and she's a dedicated IPA member. We heard about that in episode number 1. In this episode number 2, we will speak with her about policing in Canada, her own role as a law enforcement officer, and we do hope that she can tell us a little bit of facts from Canada or maybe from her own region of Canada. So Karen, you're a retired police officer from what I know. And so why did you join the police and what have you done through the years?
Okay, I joined the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which is the national police force in Canada, also known by its abbreviation, the Mounties.
Yes.
Canada has the symbolic RCMP officer in red serge sitting on a horseback, and our musical ride, which is known around the world, doing ceremonial and drills on horseback. I joined that unit and that RCMP back in 1980. The first women joined the RCMP 6 years prior to my joining. So we were a fairly new phenomenon for an organization that was over 125 years old.
Yes.
So we were treated the same as the fellas. We had a police training camp, which is called Depot. It's 6 months. And because we are a paramilitary organization, it was based on military training.
No,
So we
the
had
drill.
firearms, marching, one for all for one. If you didn't do something right, everybody had to wash cars. If you ended up doing well, then everybody got an extra perk. So you learned how to work as a team, and it was a phenomenal experience. And I did 25 years with the RCMP. 15 years of that was in uniform, where I wore a uniform, police car, carried a gun, did patrols, and 10 my last 10 years was in a federal section, which was money laundering and drug section.
Oh,
And
yes.
the very fortunate thing I had during my first 10 years is I ended up being transferred to a small, isolated Northern Canada community where there was only 3 of us working. And I was the first female to be posted to that area of the country.
And what happened?
That was 1988. There was 3 of us, then there was
Yes.
2 of us. So it was quite the experience. The only way to get in and out of that community was by plane or by boat.
Oh.
And so our closest backup was a 2-hour plane ride away. So you really learned how to talk, which is why I picked up on that habit.
You're good at communication.
I try very hard.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did that for 25 years. And one of the things that I was fortunate to do when I was in my federal section is I was posted overseas to a United Nations civilian police posting in Kosovo. And I was there for 9 months, and I was the sole money laundering expert in the office. I worked on legislation for the country, and I also set up the interview process for organized crime in Kosovo.
Wow. So you went to be kind of lead over there when it comes to this.
Yeah, I went over there, and a panel of 3 men interviewed me and hired me.
Yeah.
So I was quite fortunate for that, and absolutely relished that. And that was a big part of where I met a lot of the IPA European members.
Yes. Yeah.
And I got my taste of Europe in Vienna, and I just ran with it. So I retired from the RCMP after 25 years in 2005.
Yeah.
And I held a couple of positions in security after that. One of them was on a cruise ship for 2 years in security. Wow. The other one was I worked for the United Nations again in Lebanon, in Beirut, and investigated the Hariri assassinations and the other attacks that had taken place. I did that for 2 years. And when I was there, I was seconded to work a week project in Pakistan.
Oh.
So I went to Islamabad for a week.
Oh, wow.
And like I say, and then I worked at the Olympics here in Vancouver in 2010. And since then, I've just been enjoying retirement and traveling through
Finally.
IPA.
Finally. Yeah.
Through
But
IPA.
yeah. So the serving time in Canada would be 25 years. Is that the same today?
Yes, it is. The
Yeah.
RCMP is different from other municipal police forces.
Mm-hmm.
Municipal police forces, I won't get into technicalities, but they've got, you can collect your pension after you have what's called the 85 factor, which means your age
Yeah.
and your years in your policing
Ah.
service
Mm.
have to add up to 25.
Okay.
Then you can start collecting your pension.
Mm.
The RCMP, because we're part of a paramilitary organization, as soon as I retired, I started collecting a pension.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's different from country to country around the world when you can retire. And that's the reason why I ask you, because it's really interesting to hear that Canada got that few years comparing to what you serve, particularly in my country. I got 48 years, and my husband will get 50 years within a few weeks, and still working. So
Oh,
it's a big difference.
oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, the RCMP was established in 1873
Hmm.
as the protector of the settlers that were settling across the western frontier of Canada.
Yeah.
Then they continued and settled for the gold rush days that
Hmm.
people hear about in the
Yeah.
Klondike in northern Canada. They were involved with all of that as
Hmm.
well. So they've been around for many years,
Yeah.
and fortunate to say that we have a recognition in the RCMP that's called Second Man Award.
Hmm.
And what that has gone to is the members way back in the old day, their wives all had a very, very special role with their husbands. They were matrons, they were medical people, and they helped out with their husbands wherever they went.
Hmm.
So after that, they had to, they acknowledged the women for their job and they get awards.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that is very, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a very good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, like I
So
say, there's 25, almost 22% of the RCMP are female members.
today,
Yes.
yeah. But at the time when you joined, how many other women came to the same class as you did that
There's
year?
32. Yeah, when we go through training, we went through a barracks.
Yeah.
So we all slept in one room,
Yeah.
all in our bed. We all had one shower area, one washroom area, and there was 32 women that all went into the one room together.
Wow.
And then we would graduate and we'd be spread out across Canada for our postings for where we would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky in that the very first troop that joined 50 years ago,
Yeah.
there was a female in that troop that was our commissioner for the RCMP in
Hmm.
2006. Deb
Wow.
Bussener is her name. She's a phenomenal lady, absolutely phenomenal. And she's now on our Senate with the Canadian government as of 2018. She
Wow.
got asked to join the
Yeah.
Senate.
Well, congratulations sent over from me to her. Well
Oh,
done.
she's a
Well
wonderful
done.
lady.
Yeah. But you done well, Karen. Karen, I understand that you got skills when it comes to investigation, but because when you talk about money laundering, it must be really, really a challenge.
It really is. Money laundering was something that I was part of for 10 years. And I did that when I was in Kosovo. When I came back from Kosovo, I brought what I learned from a lot of the international colleagues over there
Mm.
back to Canada. We investigated money laundering activities that were around the world
Mm.
in the United States of America, across Canada, to the Middle East, to the Orient. And a lot of that helped me when I went to my organized crime job in Kosovo,
Yeah.
because that was a very big drug route.
Mm.
And we had to train and show the banks over
Yeah.
there how you investigate on how suspicious money
Mm.
comes through your banks.
Yes. Mm. Yeah. Really a challenge
Oh,
in
yeah,
many
yeah.
ways. Did you have a special training done before you left? So you went like to police school or university or something like this to understand?
Well, when I graduated from high school and then I went to university, Simon Fraser University here in British Columbia,
Mm-hmm.
and I obtained my Bachelor of Arts degree with a major in sociology and criminology.
Ah,
So I'd always known that I wanted to be around people and help people. So I did
yes.
several different volunteer
Yeah.
positions at a hospital with probation. And then I volunteered and I went on a ride along with a police officer in the RCMP in my community.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it. And I'm like, this is what I want to do.
That's where
This
you
is where
went.
I want to be. Yes.
Yes. And you seems to be lucky and got a lot of really good memories from that time.
Oh, it was. Like I
Yes.
say, it was a matter that, you know, I worked in a couple of Aboriginal communities.
Yeah.
I got to know the people, their culture, um, the elders,
Mm.
and respect that the elders deserved and what they
Yes.
received. And and even up in the northern part of
Mm.
Canada, there was a very big Aboriginal community
Yeah.
in that area. And um, like I say, when your closest backup is 2 hours away,
Mm.
uh, you got to make sure you count on the community and they can count on you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, Karen, for sharing your police life and also what you did after retiring, because that, I would say it was kind of semi-retirement, even though you got your pension from the police and did quite a
Yes.
lot of other things. And what you learned through the years in policing and how important it is with women in policing. As you said, today you're 22% in the Canadian police
Yes.
force, and I think that's a good figure so far, and you're working at it. So this was episode 2 with Karen Frost from Vancouver, Canada, and we will in episode 3 speak with her about IPA, the International Police Association again, and we will speak about an action plan about women in IPA. So come back to episode number 3.